All right, well, let me just recap again. I think the topic of like making something illegal and then with the knowledge that people are still going to try and do it is really critical. Like I said, having like illegal abortions will happen all the time, and they actually did happen in the back alleys with coat hangers. That's kind of nasty and unsafe. And according to the National Abortion Federation, an estimated 68,000 women worldwide die each year from unsafe abortions. In the 1950s, about 1 million illegal abortions a year were performed in the U.S., and over 1,000 women died each year as a result. Women who were victims of botched and unsanitary abortions came in desperation to hospitals, emergency wards, where some died of widespread abdominal infections. Many women who recovered from such infections found themselves sterile or chronically and painfully ill. One anonymous girl stated that if her friend ever needed an abortion, and I quote, "I would want her to be able to get a licensed doctor in a sterilized facility rather than back into the previous days where anyone in the back alley with a rusty coat hanger could perform the procedure." That's how people get infections and die. Now let's talk about money. According to the MIT Pro-Choice Facts, each tax dollar spent on the contraceptive services saved an average of $3 in the medical costs for pregnant-related health care and medical care of newborns. Without these services, federal and state Medicaid expenditures would increase by $1.2 billion a year. But money's just money, right? So how about justice and fairness? Don't we live in America, the homeland of the fair and just? Or is it the proud and free? One of those. But either way, I'm sure fairness and justice are a given, as to be standards for living. An anonymous undergraduate student also stated, "I'm pro-choice because I don't think there is any reason why a woman should have to face all the consequences from something she did not do alone. If a guy can get a woman pregnant and just run away, there's no reason why she should be the one responsible for everything and have all the baggage on her. Having more options puts a woman on more equal footing with men, instead of being someone of whom they can take advantage." I love women, so I want the best for them. In addition, I believe that it's best for a child not to be born at all than to be born hated, to a mother who is forced to have him or her, or because she has no choice, and not because she wants the child. Alice Paul introduced the Lucretia Mott Amendment in the past, in 1972, which read, "Men and women shall have equal rights throughout the United States and every place subject to its jurisdiction." The amendment was introduced in every session of Congress until it passed in 1972. Linda Lowen states, "The ability of a woman to have control of her body is critical to civil rights. Take that away and her reproductive choice and you step into a very slippery slope. If the government can force a woman to continue a pregnancy, what about forcing a woman to use contraception or undergo sterilization?" And let's not forget one very important aspect of the entire abortion war, the Roe versus Wade case. The court ruled that in the first trimester of pregnancy, states' laws and regulations may not interfere with a woman's right to terminate a pregnancy. This means that the decision to have an abortion is left in the hands of a woman and her healthcare provider. Bless you. During the second trimester, state laws and regulations can regulate abortion in order to protect the woman's health. During the last trimester, and after the fetus is viable, developed enough to survive outside the woman's womb, state laws and regulations may prohibit abortion except when it's necessary to preserve the life and health of the woman. So with that stated, they pretty much have the answer right there. When you should be able to have an abortion in the first trimester. We can keep it at that. As long as the child is born into a safe and warm, loving family that it wants to be in, and it wasn't some accident, and it wasn't something unplanned. So before I conclude, let me just put to rest some of the rumors and myths about abortion. For example, abortion causes breast cancer. That's kind of false. That's actually very false. In 1997, the New England Journal of Medicine published the latest scale of study ever on this subject, and with 1.5 million participants, which concluded that there is no independent link between abortion and breast cancer. Clearly, if abortion does increase the risk of breast cancer, it does so by an undetectably small margin. Becoming pregnant and carrying a pregnancy to term may, however, reduce the risk of breast cancer. And even in the first, and also, in the first trimester, fetuses can feel pain. That's another myth. But the fetal nerve cells can actually react to trauma, but pain reception requires a neocortex, which is not formed until the early third trimester. Now, with the myths put to rest and claims of life and equal rights debated and stated, keep abortion, keep the option, keep the choice, keep the right. Thank you.